You're not helping.
Your salary will still be paid. The teacher salaries have been paid.
You are not helping.
Your salaries will be paid at the end of the month.
You are not helping.
The salaries of teachers will be paid, so you can afford to sit here and say these kinds of things.
My neighbor I say my PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them. Yopo.
I'm not running the judge down. I'm just saying.
No, hold on, gentlemen, hold on.
No, it's not an attack. It's just to make sure that hasn't made his mark.
Hold on, gentlemen.
If you are making your point, slow down.
It is for me to tell him. It is for me to tell him to.
It's a question of profile.
It is for me to tell him to withdraw.
Made his mark at the bar. The fact that you're on TV doesn't mean that
it is for him to withdraw. It is for me to tell him.
Slow down. You haven't made your mark at the bar.
Hold on.
It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. That means you can challenge me.
Really, is that how you're supposed to?
Yes, I just have to remind you so that you'll be humble. So that you'll be humble. Because you have a profile.
No.
Listen, I think Martin, whoever is doing this to you, I think you need to.
I'm just reminding you so that be humble.
Because
so that be humble.
Somebody did something to him.
Ladako, here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. Hold on.
I'll leave him.
Yes, so
but here's what I want you to do. What I want you to do is the earlier point you made about you don't know what the judge is on. That's what I want you to say.
Completely wrong.
Not getting to the personality of the judge.
And I fear for Martin, well, I'll deal with him later. I'm saying that if you look at what the judge said, look at page 21 of his judgment and the last part, just to buttress the point I'm making. After saying that this provision where he was making reference to other jurisdictions where we have special prosecutors, and he said that Ghana doesn't have one of them. And so he says that this is not the situation in Ghana, probably because Article 88 of the Constitution is entrenched. Yes, because there was a need to meet a campaign promise. Some legislative gymnastics and re-engineering had to be done. This is a judge talking about a law passed by Parliament. He calls it a campaign promise and some legislative gymnastics.
This is Obita.
Well, this is page 21 of his judgment. All right? And so I'm saying that what the judge sought to do was to run down the OSP, arrogate to himself powers he doesn't have, because he had no power to order that all the cases in those high courts should be taken away from the OSP. He doesn't have that power. But you know, I think that this whole OSP thing, we should understand the politics. And that is why people like my friend Martin Kpebu, they get so incensed. Because he mentioned we know the history. Everybody supported this office to fight corruption. Okay? Including all the people who are now saying that the OSP office is unconstitutional. And the OSP office functioned, and under an NPP government, okay, the OSP attacked NPP ministers, NPP functionaries. Okay? We called the president, so-called mother serpent of corruption. He did not collapse the OSP. But so-called apostles of Ora are the people who are clamoring for the collapse of the OSP. Those who claim they are apostles of Ora. They believe that OSP doesn't have the power to fight corruption. But here's the deal.
The authorization to prosecute cases. That's different from the fight corruption.
Because now they think that the OSP is now... Look, let me tell you why. The very day my brother Martin Kpebu was arrested, okay, that was the very first time that Kpebu and the majority leader came to Parliament and said that the OSP has outlived its usefulness and that they are going to bring an act of Parliament to repeal it. A week after, there was an act of Parliament to repeal the OSP Act. That was
the private members.
The bill. They brought a bill. They brought a bill to repeal the act a week after Martin Kpebu had been arrested. They had seen that now the OSP was turning its eye on the NDC, so they had to do everything.
But to that is lawyer Martin Kpebu and
okay, I'll leave that to him.
Okay. Was there a corruption case? Was there a corruption case?
So here's the point.
Was there a corruption case?
So here's the point.
You see, so these are the bar.
So the NDC.
Is there a corruption case against
the NDC? We know what they are doing. Look at the case that was brought to the Supreme Court. A certain Noah Ephraim, who works with the current Deputy Attorney General, and Joyce Mutari Power, they are in the same law office. This gentleman brings a case before the Supreme Court, saying that the OSP office is unconstitutional. Guess what the Attorney General goes to say? They go and submit to judgment. That we agree with everything this gentleman is saying. This gentleman, if we hadn't known that this gentleman was working with the Deputy Attorney General and Joyce Mutari Power, you would think that it's just an independent person who has gone to the Supreme Court for interpretation. This is what we are calling sentence. Okay, so it has always been the desire of this government. Now that the OSP is done with the NPP, they believe that the OSP is turning its eye on the NDC because there are a lot of things going on in their government right now. It is their wish to collapse the OSP, and that is what they have sought to do. So if you come to now, you want me to come to the 4-2 of the 9 final.
Okay, but no, Prof. I will give you that. I'll come to you.
You are not the moderator. You are not the moderator. You are not the moderator.
I'll come to you. Now, your microphone is off. So, the Honorable John Dako, because you reference, hold on.
No,
the hold on. Professor Jampo, your microphone is off. Your microphone is off.
So now, please.
Your microphone is off. Your microphone is off. Now, when you reference what happened after lawyer Martin Kpebu, when you reference what happened lawyer Martin Kpebu, lawyer Martin Kpebu's arrest was not with a criminal matter. It wasn't a matter of corruption. Hold on. Okay, I'm coming. And then the second issue is, no, you continue. In fact, you have your time. When this private member's motion, the president then intervened. With the intervention of the president. Okay, proceed. 4-2. This particular outcome. This particular outcome. Let's go back to it.
Joint project.
Let's go back to 884.
Now, so this is the point.
Okay, your microphone is off. You're not heard. So yes, no, you can. But go ahead, Mr. Dako.
So you see,
you speak. You continue talking.
When you look at the...
No, you cannot make...
for example, I don't think that you're not helping.
Your salary will still be paid. The teacher's salaries have been paid.
You are not helping.
Your salaries will be paid at the end of the month.
You are not helping.
The salaries of teachers will be paid. So you can afford to sit here and say these kinds of things.
Thank you. Mr.
At the end of the month, your salary will be paid.
Prof.
The teachers in this country, their salaries are not being paid. So you can sit here and say all these kinds of things. Yes, the teachers.
John Dako,
focus on the issue.
Let me.
Yes,
this is 884. You were referencing it. What exactly has?
So here's the point. I believe that the OSP office, okay, as set up, is properly mandated to initiate proceedings. Of course, you understand Article 88, 3 and 4. We know, but the act when it was passed. Maybe we should all go back as we give everybody a chance to read. It says subject to clause 4 of Article 88, the office shall, for the purpose of this act, be authorized by the Attorney General. And so by the creation of this act, the Attorney General, the OSP, had been given the authorization, one-time authorization, and that they did not need to go to the Attorney General's office every time to go and seek for clearance or authorization by the creation of the law. You understand? How is it that an office which was set up to be independent, of the executive, okay, be interpreted to mean that at every time they will have to go to the Attorney General's office for authorization before they can institute an action? How? The office was set up to be independent, and that is the most important thing. Look, the Attorney General today can be removed by the president without the president giving any reason. And the president can appoint anybody. Of course, that's the only constitutional provision that requires a lawyer, that you can appoint a lawyer to be there. any lawyer to do the bidding of the president. That is not the case for the special prosecutor. The special prosecutor cannot just be removed. There are processes for the removal of the special prosecutor. So this office was created to give independence to the OSP, and that it did not require that everything the OSP will have to go to the AG's office for authorization. Section 4.2 gave one-time authorization to the OSP to prosecute cases, and that is why I think that the judge was completely wrong. Well, of course, judges make mistakes, and that is why there are appeal processes. So I think that there was a complete misapprehension of 4.2, and for him to require to see an authorization before a case can continue was completely wrong.
But you see, how does 4.2 take superior authority over 88.4?
Or any other person authorized by him, in accordance with any law.
Yes.
In accordance with any law.
So this
the OSP Act,
all offenses,
and the Act gives him the power. It gives one-time authorization.
Okay. No. Hold on. So, gentlemen, what is the? So this is what 88.4 says. All offenses prosecuted in the name of the Republic of Ghana.
You stand by your sushi matter. This is the last time you use sushi on this table. Please. And that will sushi you.
Let's go. What do you mean?
Hold on, gentlemen.
I think that the judge was wrong. I believe that the Supreme Court will do the right thing when this matter comes before them, and they will interpret this in the line in which I am making this argument.
Okay.
That in accordance with any other law, is the 959, and in the 959, the Attorney General has been, or the OSP has been authorized to initiate any proceeding.
So
okay, thank you. This is the point you disagree.
The Attorney General to always control his power. It's his. He gives it when he wants. No, was he I
allow this intervention. I allow this intervention.
So I want to
hear. Hold on.
And go to a review process.
I'm not coming back to you again if you do this.
So so by the submissions of the Attorney General, etc. Remember, I've told you that this is look, as we sit here,
so after
yes, you will.
Because now you will
have your point.
Look, we've told that there are this in different schools of thought.
Okay.
As we sit now, the established one. Look, the established one, the common one we are all using, is called an EI. So it's for the first time that we're going to hear whether the Supreme Court will endorse that Gloria Kufu's allies and the Act can bind subsequent Attorney General. Right now, we don't have a decision that says so. Because
why do you need a decision? It's a law.
No, please. No. But I told you that there's a fundamental constitutional principle that a previous government's executive powers, etc., don't bind successors. And I'm saying the power to prosecute. Yes, the power. Very good. The power to prosecute is an executive power in the Constitution. So if you somehow go and put it in legislature, and that legislative thing is not higher than the Constitution, you've not done anything. And that's why they say if you cut your tongue and chew it.
No.
It's an constitutional power. Okay, very good. So, but they do it through executive decisions. That's what I mean. So once it's in the Constitution, let's get this argument. I don't want politics on this matter. The Supreme Court.
You've always done politics.
No. I'm talking as a lawyer. Please, let viewers hear well. All we are saying is that under the Constitution, this in 88.4 you see, it's saying that the Attorney General has the power to prosecute, right? Okay. It's his. And so, once it's his, we are saying today, he can tell all the police people, and we've been advocating that even we shouldn't let police prosecute, etc. Yes, so I'll just end in 3 sentences. So at any point, Attorney General can stop all the policemen today. He can stop all the Senate officers, GRA, etc. But you are saying that, as for OSP, because you went and passed Act 595, he cannot stop. That's what you are saying. And we are saying that's not it. He can stop everybody. So once you appreciate that he can stop everybody, then it means that in Act 595, you've not taken away his powers. He only can allow it to continue if he wants to. And he is saying in this current suit that he has not authorized. So meaning that Attorney General is saying he wants to use the.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Now so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.